Welcome again. Uh, in our previous lecture, we were talking about the structure of nucleus. We talked about the structure of nucleus. We talked about the nuclear membrane. We talked about the nucleoplasm. And today, present inside the nucleoplasm is a network of thread-like structures. This network of thread-like structures is called chromatin. So beta, we are today talking about chromatin. Now, so far as chromatin is concerned, the chromatin is a thread-like interwoven material. It is a thread-like interwoven material that is present within the interiors of the nucleus, dispersed uniformly throughout the throughout the nucleoplasm. Well, inside the nucleus, dispersed throughout the nucleoplasm is a thread-like network, interconnected network, and this thread-like network is called as chromatin. The chromatin is also called as basic first chain. It is regarded as basic first chain of the cell. Or you can also call it as chromatin reticulum. Chromatin reticulum. So, nucleus under Kinchasan, thread-like interwoven material, a thread-like interwoven material is chromatin. We can also call it as chromatin reticulum. So far as chromatin reticulum is concerned, it is the precursor form of chromosomes. Now, chromosomes are the only parts of the cell that consistently keep on changing their shape. During the course of interphase, the chromosomes are not in the organized state, they are in the form of loose network, and that loose network is called as chromatin. Now beta, this chromatin chemically consists of many kinds of components. Chemically, chromatin consists of DNA, about 36%. It consists of RNA, about 5%. It consists of histone proteins. These histone proteins constitute about 31% of the chromatin chemically. It consists of non-histone proteins. The non-histone proteins approximately constitute about 28% of the chromatin. And it also contains within its chemical constitution, it contains certain enzymes. Within its chemical constitution, it contains certain enzymes. Now, this is the chemical constitution of this loose network, what we call it as chromatin or chromatin reticulum. Chromatin reticulum chu chromosomen his godni shakal. Chromatin reticulum during the course of dividing phase of the cell, yuhai chu condense gasan later on, yuhai chu banavan chromosomes. Now, so far as chromatin reticulum is concerned, we have come to the conclusion that primarily it is a nucleoprotein material. It consists of DNA and RNA. Besides that, it contains two basic kinds of proteins, histone proteins and non-histone proteins. So far as histone proteins are concerned, these proteins are basic in nature. Histone proteins are basic in nature. And remember one thing, these histone proteins are actually structural proteins. They play a structural role. While as non-histone proteins are acidic in nature, and these are actually functional proteins. So histone proteins are structural proteins, non-histone proteins are functional proteins. Now, so far as this chromatin material is concerned, word chromatin, chroma means color. Chromatin is a colored material within the cell because it gets deeply stained. It retains a bright stain once the cell is stained. It was actually it was actually Emile Hitz in the year 1928 who developed a dye. That dye is called Janus green. Janus green. Emile Hitz developed a dye that is called Janus green, and with the help of this Janus green dye, Emile Hitz was successful in staining the chromatin. And remember one more thing, that the staining technique of the chromatin, the technique by virtue of which chromatin is stained, is called heteropyknosis. Now let us have a quick revision what we have learned so far. Inside the nucleus is present with distributed within the nucleoplasm is present a thread-like material. Now this thread-like material, it is also called a basic fasciin. You can also call it as chromatin, or you can call it as chromatin reticulum. Basically because reticulum means network. Now, this chromatin reticulum, chemically it is made up of DNA, RNA, histone proteins and non-histone proteins. As guys asin pata about the principal difference between histone proteins and non-histone proteins. Both of these are associated with the nucleic acid material that constitutes chromatin and chromosomes. Histone proteins are basic in nature. And these histone proteins, they play a structural role. While as at barakas yim non-histone proteins chi tim chi acidic in nature, to tim chi play karan functional role. Now, you see chromatin material you choose that component of the nucleus that once the nucleus is stained, it retains a bright stain. Because of its ability to retain a bright stain, it is named as chromatin. Because word chromatin has been derived from chroma. Chroma means color. Chromatin was stained by Emile Hitz in 1928, who developed a dye. The dye is called Janus green, and the technique by virtue of which chromatin is stained is called heteropyknosis. Now beta, so far as this chromatin is concerned, it has been further differentiated into two types. The whole chromatin, whole of this network has been differentiated further into two types. First form of the chromatin is called heterochromatin. There are two forms of chromatin. Ekis form is one heterochromatin. Another form is called euchromatin. So there are two forms of chromatin. Now talking about euchromatin, this portion of the chromatin, first of all, it is centrally placed, it is located in the center. The euchromatin part is present within the center of the nucleus, while as heterochromatin part is located at the periphery. First difference, euchromatin is present in the center, heterochromatin is present in the periphery. Besides that, euchromatin it is that part of chromatin which is more fibrous. It is more fibrous. While as heterochromatin part of the chromatin is more granular. So godnish farak chi euchromatinus the heterochromatinus use part chromatinuk centrally chu placed tatmana euchromatin use part periphery pack chu tatmana heterochromatin. Euchromatin portion chu fibrous zyada, while as heterochromatin portion chu granular zyada. Besides that, euchromatin is that part of chromatin which is considered to be genetically active. It is considered to be genetically active. Genetically active means it contains all the active genes of the cell. Euchromatinus man chi tim sari genes of the cell cha asan yim for the time being cha asan active. While as heterochromatin portion is considered to be genetically inert. It is genetically inert, it is non-transcriptive. Non-transcriptive means this part of the chromatin is not involved in transcription. It synthesizes no form of RNA. It actually contains no genetic information. It contains no active genes. It might possess genes, but these genes are inactive. Now, so far as heterochromatin is further concerned, it has been further differentiated into two types. Heterochromatinous च further आमद basic किस्म करना. Number first, most common form of heterochromatin is called constitutive heterochromatin. Constitutive heterochromatin, it is present in most of the cells. अक्सर cellन मंज use heterochromatin च, that is constitutive heterochromatin. It contains no genetic information, it contains no active genes, and the genes, if present in the constitutive heterochromatin part, have no chance of activation. They can't be activated whatsoever. While as another form of heterochromatin is called facultative heterochromatin. Facultative heterochromatin, first of all, it is not present in all types of cells. Facultative heterochromatin chu exceptional cellن मंज आसान. अथ मंज छ तिम genes आसान यम जन inactive छ गमित for the time being. अथ मंज छ those genes आसान यम active आसान पत छ गमित inactive. It is also genetically inert. It is also non-transcriptive for the time being. But the genes present in the facultative part of heterochromatin are those genes that have been rendered inactive, or these are those genes that have every chance of reactivation. For example, if it is spike bar body chasan, bar body is present inside the gamete mother cells of females. Female gamete mother cell and mans yim zan matlab bar body is one of the X chromosomes. Tamik matlab gene is inactivate gasam because of the development of bar body. Bar body has a yichi example of facultative heterochromatin. So once again, so far as chromatin is concerned, the chromatin has been broadly classified. It has been broadly classified as euchromatin and heterochromatin. Euchromatin is centrally placed, heterochromatin is at the periphery. Euchromatin is genetically active, heterochromatin is genetically inert, genetically inactive. In addition to that, you see heterochromatin, it is more granular. Heterochromatin part used to further zikism constitutive heterochromatin, most common form contains those genes, that kind of genetic material in which genes have no chance of activation, while as facultative heterochromatin, it is present in exceptional cells. Atmosphere tim genes asan yim inactive ch gamit, magar yiman chance of activation is always there. Besides that, you see heterochromatin portion, it is organized into bead-like structures. It is organized into granular structures. These granular structures can be called as nucleosomes. These granular structures can be called as chromocenters. These granular structures can be called as karyosomes. So, heterochromatin, because it is more granular, it is organized into bead-like structures. Phil hi chasan, yaman phalen chesmana nucleosomes, chromocenters, not one of karyosomes. Now let us talk a little about the structure of a nucleosome. So beta, actually chu vannuk matlab ye ki, you see nucleus of chromatin chu amicus peripheral part chu, that is heterochromatin. Heterochromatin portion is more granular. Yim साथ yim granules ch vichan, yim granules ch vichan keenly under electron microscope. We first of all call these granules as nucleosomes, chromocenters, or karyosomes. Each karyosome, each nucleosome is actually made up of a central body. It possesses a beard-like appearance like this. Let me suppose, like this. Now, these bead-like structures are called karyosomes, and each karyosome consists of a central body. If karyosome is observed under electron microscope, we will see that it consists of a central body. That central body is called NU body. A central body is NU body. Yes, this central body under electron microscope this central body actually octamer. This is a superimposed spherical protein in his body. Central body is actually a superimposed spherical protein molecule in his body. Human protein molecules, these are actually histone proteins. They have been designated as H2A, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. So vanuk matlab chu preta nucleosome which is observed in the heterochromatin part of chromatin is in turn made up of a central body that is called NU body. The NU body chu further octamer actually, earthen unit and his volumes. It consists of 8 spherical units of proteins. Now these 8 spherical units of proteins, these are actually histone proteins. 2 of these proteins belong to the category type of histone proteins H2A form. 2 of them belong to the H2B form, 2 of them belong to the H3 form, 2 of them belong to the H4 form. Now, all of these spherical 8 proteins superimposed upon each other constitute the central body or the NU body. Now, around this central body is wound DNA. DNA valid. This DNA chu banavan about 1.7 to 2 coils around the central body. So, for example, agar yetet ak nucleosome chu, ak nucleosomus as DNA within 1.7 to 2 coils. Yetet chu byak nucleosome ak DNA within 1.7 to 2 coils. Now, these two DNA fragments, the DNA of this nucleosome, the DNA of this nucleosome, are interconnected by another string of DNA. The string of DNA that connects the DNA of 2 nucleosomes together, or in other words, the string of DNA that connects 2 nucleosomes together. It is simply called as linker DNA. So this is the structure of what we call it as karyosome, chromocenter, or nucleosome. Heterochromatin is mostly organized in the form of granules. These are called karyosomes. Each karyosome contains a central body that is called NU body. NU body is an octamer of 8 proteins. All of these proteins are histone proteins belonging to 4 types. Now, around the NU body is wound DNA, but in 1.7 to 2 coils. That means one coil is complete, another coil is just complete, or both the coils might be complete. Now, the adjacent nucleosomes are further connected by another string of DNA. That string of DNA is called a linker DNA. So, this much was about the structure of chromatin. Now, the chromatin during the dividing phase of the cell gets organized into chromosomes. So, let us talk about chromosomes. Beta वंशे is discuss karan only the structure of nucleus. We are yet inside the nucleus. Now, you see thread-like material chromatin, which will later on organize gasan in the form of chromosomes. it gets organized in the form of chromosome. मैं वन तो गॉडनेथी कि chromosomes यों चे सेल हिन तिम organelles यम consistently पनिंग shape चे change कर. During non-dividing phase of the cell, chromosomes will be present in the form of chromatin. But during the dividing phase of the cell, chromatin material gets organized in the form of chromosomes. So chromosomes should banan, yamasa banan gubur from the chromatin fibers during the dividing phase of the cell. So far as discovery of chromosomes is concerned, chromosomes were first of all discovered by Hofmeister. It was Hofmeister who first of all discovered chromosomes. Then their name chromosome was assigned to them by Strasburger. Word name chromosome was given to the chromosomes by E. Strasburger. Now, chromosomes are called as chromosomes. The word chromosome is a combination of two words. Chroma meaning colored and zoma meaning body. So they are colored bodies. Strasburger called them as colored bodies. Colored bodies basically because once the cell is stained, the chromosomes are the organelles that retain the brightest stain. For that reason, chromosomes are called as chromosomes. Now, the structure of chromosomes was actually given by Waldeyer. Waldeyer was the biologist who actually gave the structure of chromosomes. Now, let us talk about the structure of chromosomes. Because chromosomes are produced from chromatin, chemically chromosomes are made up of same structural constituents, the DNA, the RNA, the polymerase, and some sorts of enzymes. The histone proteins, the non-histone proteins. These are the basic ingredients of chromosomes. Let us first of all talk about the number of chromosomes. There's an interesting fact that number of chromosomes is species specific. Prat kuni species should panun number of chromosomes. Look here. The one type of chromosomes, the chromosome set of a single type is called a genome. Akis selimans yim aki kısmı kromozom asan timçi temis selihun genome banav. Ya genome banav is it is the collective aggregation of the chromosomes of a cell that belong to a single type. The cell that possesses single genome. Yat means akui genome as. Yat means aki kısmık akoy chromosome as. This is cell is one haploid. In other words, that cell which possesses only one set of chromosomes. Yat cell means akoy set of chromosomes as. Aki kısmık as akui chromosome. That cell is called haploid, or that condition is called haploid. Haploid cells bear single genome. Haploid condition is often designated by N. The cells that possess two chromosomes of a single type, or the cell that possesses chromosomes in pairs and each pair contains alike forms of chromosomes, that cell is called diploid. The diploid condition is designated by 2N. And the cells that contain more than two sets of chromosomes can well be called as polyploids, and the types of polyploids can then be triploids, tetraploids, pentaploids, hexaploids, so on. Now, so the cell which contains one set of chromosomes is called a haploid cell. Haploid condition is designated by N. Haploid cells possess only one genome, whereas the cells that possess two sets of chromosomes, two chromosomes of the same type, and each chromosome present in pairs, that cell is called a diploid. Diploid cells are designated by 2N. Diploid cells contain two genomes. Most common haploid cells are gamete mother cells, gamete cells. The gamete cell is sperms and ova in case of animals, and a number of cells in case of lower plants. These are haploid. While as general somatic cells of animals and higher plants, general somatic cells of animals, general somatic cells of higher plants, these are what we call it as diploid in constitution. Besides that, the number of chromosomes is species specific. Species specific means pret kuni species chu pannun definite number of chromosomes as. For example, lowest number of chromosomes is found in Ascaris megalocephalus. Ascaris megalocephalus chu akui chromosome, it does not exist in pairs. So the value of n for Ascaris megalocephalus is just 1. Ampatnemonas mucorhimalis, the fungus. The number of chromosomes in case of mucorhimalis is n is equal to 2. It contains 2 chromosomes. Then if you take the case of Haplopoppus gracillus, Haplopoppus gracillus, it has the lowest number of chromosomes in diploid form. It has total number of chromosomes 4, but the its number is 2n is equal to 2. Total number of chromosomes 4. Likewise, if you take the case of P, the number of chromosomes in P is 14. If you take the case of maize, the number of chromosomes in maize is 20. One look matlab chuki prat kuni species chu panun definite number of chromosomes as. And any change in the quality or quantity of chromosomes then gives rise to mutations, and mutations can result in disorders in that species. For example, likewise, we well know the number of chromosomes in man is 46. There are 46 chromosomes in man, but these 46 chromosomes are present in 23 pairs. Tan matlab ko human beings are 46 chromosomes, but they are of 23 types, and each type exists in a pair. Likewise, the largest number of chromosomes in the plant world is found in adder's tongue fern. Largest number of chromosomes in plant world is found in adder's tongue fern, and it is 1262. While as the largest number of chromosomes in case of animal world is present in a protist. That protist is called Alocantha. The number of chromosomes in Alocantha is 1600. So beta, every species is characterized by its own number of chromosomes. Besides that, you mean chromosomes asan nucleus months? Yim chromosomes is broadly classified karan. Higher organism hin chromosomes is broadly classified karan don type. Number first type of chromosomes are called autosomes. Number second kind of chromosomes are called as sex chromosomes. The chromosomes present inside the cells of higher organisms are differentiated into 2 types: autosomes and sex chromosomes. Autosomes are those chromosomes that determine somatic characters. Yiman mans tim genes which are responsible for the determination of somatic features. While as sex chromosomes are largely those chromosomes that determine sex. For example, if a human being contains 46 chromosomes, out of these 46 chromosomes, 44 chromosomes, that means 22 pairs, they are autosomes. While 2 chromosomes, that means 1 pair of chromosomes is sex chromosome. And then we well know, in case of females, both sex chromosomes are X chromosomes. While as in case of males, one of the sex chromosome is X, another sex chromosome is Y. So, one of matlab chi ki chromosomes of a set are differentiated into autosomes and sex chromosomes. Besides that, I have told you that chromosomes of higher organisms exist in pairs. Ek qismik ch zuz chromosome asan higher organism. The chromosomes of the same pair are referred to as homologous chromosomes. Aki pairiki yim chromosomes asan tim ch panwan yivan regard karna as homologous chromosomes, and chromosomes of different pairs are regarded as non-homologous chromosomes. So this is the terminology that we use while describing chromosomes. Autosomes, sex chromosomes, homologous chromosomes, non-homologous chromosomes. Now back to the chromosome structure. First of all, अशी पता है कि chromosomes are present in the dividing phase of the cell. In the non-dividing phase of the cell, chromosomes then get loosened and get organized in the form of chromatin network. Then dividing phase of the cell is further divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Godnich kath yaad thao, the most ideal phase for the study of chromosome structure is metaphase. Metaphasic chromosome is ideal for the study. Now, if you have to study the structure of chromosomes, it is advisable to study in metaphase. In metaphase, you will see that each chromosome is grossly a dumbbell-shaped structure. It is a dumbbell-shaped structure. It contains two leaf-like outgrowths. It contains two leaf-like structures. These leaf-like structures are called as chromatids. Now these chromatids are primarily joined together. They are joined together by a spherical structure. That spherical structure is called centromere. So, एक general chromosome च सिर्फ ज part आसान. अमिश leaf-like chromatids आसान. These two chromatids are then joined by a spherical structure that is called as centromere. You see, centromere, it contains proteinaceous core. Achu center asan proteinaceous core, protein and hun banyamut core. That proteinaceous core is called kinetochore. And it is kinetochore that gets fixed or that gets attached to the spindle fibers during the course of cell division. Now, go simple structure chromosome, Z chromatids joined together by centromere. Now, you see centromere is also regarded as primary structure. Centromere is also regarded as primary constriction of the chromosome. Bazı kent chromosomes asan timan chi yemi primary constriction allow byaka constriction asan. Some chromosomes are there that might contain a secondary constriction apart from the primary constriction. This another constriction is simply called as secondary constriction. The secondary constriction present in the chromosome, yet chromosomes man secondary constriction as the chromosome containing secondary constriction is then called as satellite chromosome. Or you can call it as SAT chromosome. SAT chromosome. So manuk matlab chi ki in general chromosomes leaf-like structure and hin banemi timan chvanan chromatids should join it together by a primary constriction or what we call it as centromere. In general chromosomes only primary constriction is observed. But in certain exceptional chromosomes you can find another constriction and that constriction is called secondary constriction. The chromosomes that possess secondary constriction are often referred to as satellite chromosome or they can be called as SAT chromosome. For example, in case of human genome, the chromosome number 13, the chromosome number 14, the chromosome number 15, the chromosome number 20 and chromosome number 21. These are satellite chromosomes. If human beings contain 23 pairs of chromosomes, out of 23 pairs of chromosomes, 5 pairs of chromosomes are satellite chromosomes. That means thereby 5 pairs of chromosomes are those chromosomes that have a secondary constriction. And inside the nucleus of the cell, these chromosomes align in such a way that they put secondary constriction adjacent to each other. For example, अगर ये chromosome number 13 ची इचामी secondary constriction, ये chromosome number 14 इचामी secondary constriction, they will align like this. Chromosome number 15 thypani secondary constriction is put, and like that a central sphere is formed. You see, central sphere by the overlap, by the adjustment of secondary constrictions, that sphere is then called as nucleolar organizer. That sphere is nucleolar organizer, or that sphere is in short designated by NOR, and it is the nucleolar organizer that then hosts the nucleolus of the cell. So satellite chromosomes panni secondary constriction must accommodate karan cell in this nucleolus. And secondary constrictions of these chromosomes yem sat panwain align gaise tachak hollow sphere cylinder bana, that hollow cylinder is nucleolar organizer, and it is the nucleolar organizer yatmans what we call it as nucleolus hosted as. Then talking about these chromatids, each chromatid has a central core, nucleoprotein core. Each chromatid has a central nucleoprotein core, and this central nucleoprotein core is often called as chromatonema. Chromatonema. This chromatonema material is actually made up of DNA. The DNA is attached histone proteins, while as non-histone proteins are then present at the periphery. So interior of the chromatid presents a simple structure. It contains a thread-like, rod-like core in the center called chromatonema. Chromatonema is then made up of DNA. DNA is immediately surrounded by what we call it as histone proteins, while as non-histone proteins are then present at the periphery. Besides that, this chromatonema material, it bears beads, bead-like structures. Occasionally, it has a beaded appearance. These beads are often referred to as chromomers. And as was the belief of previous biology, chromomers are the structures that contain genes. This chromatonema thread, it bears bead-like structures, or it is, at places, it is dense in the form of beads. And these dense spots are then called as chromomers. And chromomers are the places that host the genes. Now, so this is the basic structure of chromosomes. Now, depending upon the position of the centromere of chromosomes, the chromosomes are broadly classified into 4 types. Chromosome yes primary constriction chasan centromere. This centromere katat haisi chromosome tan hisab ch chromosome 4 qism. Number first type of chromosomes are called as metacentric chromosomes. Metacentric chromosomes gay tim chromosomes yemen centromere is present in the center. These chromosomes are called metacentric chromosomes. Metacentric chromosomes present the appearance of letter V. Number second form of chromosomes are called as submetacentric chromosomes. Submetacentric chromosomes contain a larger chromatid. One chromatid is large, another chromatid is small. And the centromere is not present in the middle of the chromosome, it is present just in the middle. And this type of chromosome, this form of chromosome, this shape of chromosome is then called as submetacentric chromosome. And you well see submetacentric chromosome presents the appearance of L. Third form of chromosomes in which one chromatid is quite large and almost curved. Another chromatid is very small and centromere is present in between these two chromatids. This is called as acrocentric chromosome. And acrocentric chromosome, you well see it presents the appearance of letter J. And the last type of chromosomes are called as telocentric chromosome. Telocentric chromosomes have both the chromatids fused together while a centromere is present at the end. So telocentric chromosomes, they present the appearance of letter I. So by shape, by the position of the centromere, chromosomes are classified into four types. Number first type, very simple, metacentric, in which both chromatids are of the same size. Centromere is present in the middle, and metacentric chromosomes are present in the form of letter V. Number second, submetacentric chromosomes. Here, one of the chromatids is larger as compared to the another chromatid. These chromosomes present the form of letter L. Acrocentric chromosomes, where one chromatid is extraordinarily large, while as another chromatid is very much small. And centromere is placed in between, they present the appearance of J. Then what we call it as telocentric chromosome. Telocentric chromosomes means almost दोनों chromatids आसान एक side fused together, while as centromere lies at the top, and they present the appearance of letter I. So, beta, today we talked about chromatin and chromosomes. The discussion, a little bit of discussion about chromosomes will be followed in our next lecture, and we will also be talking about nucleolus. Till then, take care.